Hello Blitzers and Blowhards, my name is TBS Guide, and welcome back to Final Fantasy X, where we are at last ready to get on with the story, having completed the things that we need to complete, I believe, here in Kilika, leaving us very little reason to stick around except to do some grinding, which I don't want to do too much of.
Off to Luca at last. The matches start soon as we get there, so rest up on the way, yeah?
So one thing you'll notice about the game is that it doesn't have an overworld map. Like, in the sense of Final Fantasies 6, 7, 8, and 9, and pretty much every previous Final Fantasy game had, an overworld map where, like, you exit a town, then you're in the overworld map, which is like a huge world map, and then you run around and go to another town. This game doesn't have that at all. What you have instead is pretty much a linear journey from start in Besaid to the finish somewhere else. And that was one of the things that attracted a lot of criticism at the time, is that people were kind of used to, but a Final Fantasy game has to have a world map. Like, you have to be able to do things and explore and run around. So this is weird. And that's something that Final Fantasy XIII did the same kind of basic thing as well, where the game is essentially a linear journey through, like, down one path, without a lot of running around and free roaming. And I can definitely see the criticism, but specifically for this game, it serves an important thematic purpose, because the game is structured around Yuna's pilgrimage to become High Summoner and defeat Sin. Like, that's the whole conception of how the game is put together, is it's about that. And so forcing you to actually do the pilgrimage, like to go on foot, to wander, not on an overworld map, not on an abstraction of the world, but through the actual world itself, like down the routes and roads and pathways that constitute the pilgrimage. There is a thematic point to that, which is one of the things that Final Fantasy XIII really lacks, but we'll maybe talk about Final Fantasy XIII once if we play it, we'll figure it out. It's not my favorite, in case you can't tell. Anyway. Tournament's coming up real soon. I wish we had more time to practice, yeah? I just want to sneak up behind them and beat the... I'd want to get in their faces and show them what we're made of. Why do we have to be on the same ship as those Lucans anyway? Those herbs I borrowed in Kilika for seasickness are working great, yeah? Why do I feel like I'm being watched? Looks like our gals are brewing up something back there. I'd be afraid if I were you.
My, you're kind of cute too. Want to have some fun? Hey, that boy in the Aurochs is a cutie.
Horny for the pudgy lad. I approve. Good for them. Blow off some steam before the big game.
It might not mean much, but good luck in the tournament. Best to let him sleep.
They ask a fortune for rags in Besaid and Kilika. Well, me business is in shambles. What's an Oaka to do, I ask ye? You mind spotting me some gill again, lad?
Yeah, sure, why not? You can have 16, that brings you up to 2,000, which is pretty much the thing.
I'll make it up to ye, that I will. I'll make it up to
Do I need anything that you have? Potions, maybe? Nope. So, you need to lend Oakas, I think it's something like 10,000 gil over the course of the game, basically, in order to unlock the end of his particular storyline. So, you know, we'll do that as we go along.
Some people can be so rude.
Anyway, Donna and Bartello, very much a couple, which, frankly, good for the both of them. Anyway, hey kid. Why are you running away? Why are you running away? Why are you running away? What a strange kid. He seems to be looking at something through binoculars.
Well, say something. You'll take responsibility.
Relax, he's bound to know someone in Luca.
And if not?
He could always join a Blitz team. Anyhow, It's better than just leaving him in Besaid.
What? Just leaving him in Luca?
What do you want me to do?
Yuna wants to make him a guardian.
Oh, yeah, jeez. There's that too, eh?
And whose fault is that?
Not mine. It is mine, huh? Why do you think she wants to make him a guardian anyway?
Because he's Sir Jack's son.
All right. Wait, you sure about that? He's really Sir Jack's son.
It's hard to say, but Yuna seems to believe so.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That's all you have to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got to decide for himself, yeah? Well, him and Yuna, I guess.
You're right, for once. I wonder which is best. Why don't you tell him he should?
Should what?
Become Yuna's guardian.
Why me?
Because Yuna can't.
Why not?
He hates his father. What he was, what he did. Do you really think she can possibly say to him, I want you to be my guardian, like your father was to mine?
And you're being oversensitive. All right, all right. I'll try talking to him after the tournament.
Be discreet.
I know. It's his decision.
So, when I played this game for the first couple of times, I didn't know this conversation existed. Like, I never tried to go up the stairs, so I completely missed out on this context. But there is an emotional maturity to parts of this game, and also a lot of emotional immaturity, but there's an emotional maturity to that particular conversation, for example, where two characters, who aren't the main character, are having a conversation, like, away from Tita's, a completely non-mandatory conversation. Like, you can miss this completely, you don't have to hear it. Away from Tita's, where they're discussing their feelings about what's going on. Like, this guy comes out of the sea in Besaid, and he's the son of Sir Jack, the legendary guardian. It's like that they have this sense of interiority to them, which is the same thing that we get with, like, with Lulu and Waka also when they talk about Chapu, and, like, there's clearly, like, a lot of really ugly history with Waka's brother there that has absolutely nothing to do with us, except that Tita's, like, coincidentally happens to look a bit like him. That where it feels like the characters have an interiority, like that they have a life outside of being just your party members, which is something that can, like, something Final Fantasy IX did really well as well, but which is something that sometimes can be missing in Final Fantasy games, certainly. Like, there's some characters in Final Fantasy IV that, oh boy. But also in JRPGs in general, like, you get oftentimes storytelling that kind of just only really seems to know that the main character exists. Not in the sense of, like, that they're the only thing that the whole plot revolves around, but in the sense that every other character exists primarily to have storylines that involve the main character. In the sense of, like, they have a loyalty side quest or whatever. It's not just JRPGs either, by the way. Western RPGs are really fucking bad with this. BioWare loves to pull this shit, where one of your squad mates has a storyline where there's, like, something that's really important to them, something that matters a lot to them, but they absolutely will not do jack fucking shit about anything that matters to them themselves unless your character either pushes them into it or comes along on, like, a special loyalty mission or whatever. And, like, oftentimes they won't have important emotional conversations unless you're around, like, to hear, like, your character is around to hear them. And, like, still here, obviously, we don't get to hear the conversation unless we do this.
He doesn't like his father.
Apparently, he told Yuna as much.
Hating your own father, huh? Sounds like a luxury to me. I don't even remember my parents. Can't say how I feel about them.
I was 5 then, so I remember mine a little.
Damn it! Sin just takes everything away from us.
Lulu and Waka both lost their parents to Sin, by the way. Like, it's, you still have to as it were, initiate the conversation, but there is the difference in framing. Like this is not, they're not having the conversation because you prompted them to. They're not having the conversation, like, within earshot of you. They're having the conversation from the character's perspective, completely out of your earshot. You have nothing to do with it. You just happen to be eavesdropping. And it gives a completely different feeling to how the characters are presented. At least, I think so.
Go to bed, bud. Tournament starts tomorrow morning.
I'm sorry. I need some time to think.
Someone's bound to recognize you when they see your moves out there, huh?
Right. No, the Oryx are the team to watch this year. They say they got a blitzer from Sanakind on their team.
Oh, come on. You actually believe that rumor?
No way. I only meant it to be fun to watch. I forgot how good this game is at... I don't... We'll talk about it later.
I do believe your Xanarkand exists. I really do, you know?
Thanks, Yuna. So, when you're watching, go back and watch that little shot, like the shot where Tidus is looking down again. Look at his eyebrows and look at his eyes. Look at the little twitches and movements that they make, indicating like that there's an emotional process going on inside him. That, again, pretty normal-ass animation by modern standards, but again, at the time, that was like... As character animation goes, I remember the fucking PS2 era. They didn't do subtlety in character animation, but that's... But there is here.
Well, trying to follow in my footsteps, are you? I usually charge for lessons, you know. That shot is done like this. You can't do it, kid. But don't worry, my boy. You're not the only one. No one else can do it. I'm the best.
Jack sure is an asshole, isn't he? Just, wow. What a cartoonish jerk. Almost seems unbelievable that anyone could be such a dickhead. Anyway, the Jack Shot Challenge. Here comes a fun part. The memories of that day still haunt Tidus and interfere with his concentration. Try to shake off the memories and successfully perform the Jack Shot. For example, when a memory appears in the upper left, press up and left plus A at the same time. Up and A. Okay. I'm gonna get this right.
You're out of no one else. You can't. You're out of your league. You're out of your. You can't. You can't. You're out of your league. You're out of your. No one can't do it. You can't do it. You're out of your league.
There we go. It's not that hard, I should stress.
The best? Yeah, right. Huh?
Whoa! What's that called?
Doesn't have a name. Anyone can do it if they try.
Show us one more time, yeah?
That was the Jack Shot, wasn't it?
How do you know that?
Sir Jecht showed it to me when I was a child. He called it the Sublimely Magnificent Jecht Shot Mark III.
Huh. Stupid name, huh? You know what? There is no Mark I or Mark II, you know? My old man said the name Mark III was just something to hook the crowd. He said they'd come back every night expecting to see Mark I and Mark II. And they really did come back. I used to get so mad. Is he alive, you think?
I don't know. But Sir Jecht was my father's guardian.
So he's famous here, too?
Yes. So, if anything happened to him, I should think word would get around fast.
Uh-huh.
What would you do if you found him?
Who knows? I thought he died 10 years ago. Well... I'd probably just smack him one. After everything he put Mom and me through. And because he was famous, I was always... Well, you should know, Yuna.
Hmm?
Your father's famous too. Everyone in Spira knows him, right? Ain't it tough?
It is hard to follow in his footsteps as a summoner.
Sure.
But the honor of having a father like him surpasses all that, I think.
Well, there wasn't much to honor about my old man, that's for sure.
You shouldn't say that about your father.
I got the right.
I guess you do.
Ow!
Show me that move again.
Yo!
So I've been kidding
I
around.
didn't think my old man would come to Luca. He never did like watching other people play. But I couldn't help feeling something bad was gonna happen. And these feelings of mine are usually right. Sure, I had told Waka I'd help him win the tournament, but I wasn't sure I had it in me to play at all anymore.
Anyway, I've been kidding around with Titus, like saying, oh, he's got daddy issues. Like, making a little bit light of it, making a little bit fun of it. But again, there is that, like, the kid lost his dad at a pretty young age, and clearly already had a bunch of resentments against the guy. That shit screws you up, man. It screws you up inside. And so, like, I know a lot of people who find Titus kind of whiny and annoying in a lot of ways, but it's also, considering what he went through as a kid, and then becoming this star Blitzball player, but still being in his father's shadow always. It's like, yeah, not that it makes him, like, not a little shit about it, but it's understandable, I think.
The ships carrying the players are arriving now. This would be dock number 2. All the way from Kilika, it's the Kilika Beasts. High Summoner O'Holland used to play for them, a big name to live up to. Their hometown was recently attacked by Sin, isn't that right, Jimmy?
Yes, Baba, they're going to be pulling out all the stops to try and bring back the cup this year.
Jimma and Baba.
Exciting, isn't it, folks?
I don't know why I think that's funny.
Off the ramp is... Well, well, well. If it isn't the Besaid Aurochs. They're a living, breathing, statistical impossibility. I've never seen a team this bad. That's right. In 23 years, they've never made it past the first round. Only a few die-hard fans are in the audience today.
Best of luck to them and a safe journey back to Besaid.
Right, Jim? Moving right along, our next team is... Here they are, folks. Our very own Luca Goers. They've got power, they've got speed, they've got teamwork. They're an all-round first-class team, and they're back home in Luca.
We never find out why they go to Kilika.
Without a doubt, they are the favorite this year, Baba. And after the way they dominated last year, it'd take a miracle for them to lose today.
You can say that again, Jimma. Look at the crowd, folks. Look at the crowd. Looks like all of Luca has turned out to cheer the Goers on. They know, I know, and you know, folks. The Luca Goers are #1.
Love to see some unbiased commentating.
Yeah, it's like this every year, yeah? Don't let it bother you.
Oh boy.
Stop right there, Goers. You guys are smiling now, but not for long. Cause this year, us Aurochs are taking the cup.
What in Yevon's name were you doing up there?
We sure stood out, though. We were on the sphere. We were. Maester Micah is here.
Already?
The number 3 dot.
What's up now?
Maester Micah has arrived, that's what.
Micah? Maester?
Maester Micah is the leader of all the peoples of Spira. He's come all the way from Bavel. The tournament is being held to honor his 50 years as Maester.
50 years? Shouldn't he be, retired by now?
Hey, mind your mouth now.
Let's all go see him.
So there's another thing about the storytelling in this game. Like, remembering back to our previous playthroughs, Final Fantasy 6, 7, 8, and 9, they are all text-based games, which means, like, go talk to a person, and then it's entirely up to me when we finish, like, each sentence that the person is saying, basically. That's entirely within my prerogative, which means I get to set the pacing of the storytelling for myself. For Final Fantasy X, and you can see them kind of struggling with some of the difficulties of this because there's voice acting. The pacing is entirely up to the game, and I can do stuff to skip past certain voice lines and stuff like that if I want to, but the storytelling as the game intends it has a very deliberate pacing to it, and it's kind of a slow pacing a lot of the time. Like, there's a lot of the time where it feels like this is like one beat of silence too many. Like, it feels, the pacing feels a little stilted and awkward, and that kind of impacts the quality of the voice acting as well. And part of the reason why is because, as I've said previously, the game itself is synchronized to work with, not just with the Japanese audio track, but it's also designed and directed to work with the pacing of Japanese speech, like with the cinematic and media conventions of how you deliver, like how dialogue is delivered in Japanese media. And that's always the translation problem, is that when you translate that, especially when you're dealing with voice acting and stuff that needs to be timed and things like that, into a language that has a different rhythm to it, that has like a different set of accepted cadences, you get that little bit of awkwardness. That's part of the reason why, if you play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, that Kingdom Hearts 1, like, they have these massive silences between characters saying stuff, because, like, the differences in language just aren't really well compensated for. And it's not, like, it's a thing that, like, it's a valid criticism to say that, like, maybe the localization could do a better job of smoothing that stuff out. But it's also a thing of, like, well, yeah, but them's kind of the breaks when you're dealing with this kind of translation. Maester Micah doesn't make too many public appearances. He's getting too old for that. If I can catch one glimpse of Mr. Mike, I'll have something to brag about back home. We sealed off all access to the stadium for the time being. We're trying to control the mad rush of people who have already entered the stadium. Which means we can't go past him. Too bad. Man, this tournament's gonna rock. Even the big man's here to see the game.
Can't see a thing. Shh.
I love the character designs of those musicians, by the way.
That's a Guado, right?
Who could it be?
Isn't that Maester Seymour?
So here you can see something, and you could also see that in the previous shot where there was a crowd of people looking at Seymour. There's an interesting lack of NPCs to the left and right, isn't there? Like, there's meant to be this huge crowd here, but then, like, after the first, like, front group of, like, 10 people, there just seems to be nobody else on the docks. That's because this game was not originally produced in widescreen. It was not originally produced in a 16:9 ratio. It was originally made for 4:3 ratio televisions. It was made for 480p, like well, not 480p, but a television display ratio. So there's scenes every once in a while in the game where you can tell that, like, the programmers did not. It's like, oh, why would we spend extra rendering resources to put extra NPCs in the picture when we can just zoom in a little bit and close crop, and then it'll look like there's a big crowd, even though we don't have any NPCs rendered outside of what the camera can see. But then you expand, like, the width of the image by, like, 20% on each side, and all of a sudden you get these slightly awkward, like, where is everybody? And it's the same thing here, like, you were supposed to be pushed in a little bit closer, like, the space to the right of Yuna and the left of Lulu was pretty much supposed to be cut off, which is why there's only 2 other NPCs in the image. But now, with the full widescreen, it looks a little empty and weird.
People of Spira, I thank you for your generous welcome. Rise, Maester Seymour, and all of you as well. I present to you the son of Maester Giskel Guado, who departed for the far plain a fortnight past. As some of you already know, he has been officially ordained a Maester of Yevon.
I am Seymour Guado. I am honored to receive the title of Maester. In life, my father Giskel worked to foster friendship between man and Guado. I vow to carry on his legacy and to fulfill my duties as Maester to the best of my abilities.
You too, bow your head.
And the camera tilts a little bit, and we close in on Seymour with him, like, in the top of the frame, the camera below him, so he's, like, kind of domineering and powerful. Dramatic zoom in on Yuna. Oh yeah, he's definitely not a bad guy. Hey, that's fine.
He psychs you up, yeah?
That's
all right. Last meeting
that's
before
cool.
the match.
No
What's up?
worries. I'm sure he's a good guy. He seems nice.
Where's Waka?
Let the matchup draws.
We had to play the Goers in the first match last year.
The year before that, and the one before that, too.
Well, we would have lost to anyone anyway.
Get Waka.
We're playing the Albed Sykes first. If we win, we're in the finals. That's right, we got seeded. 2 wins, and we're the champions. First things first. Let's go over the basics again, boys.
So now we get our Blitzball tutorial. I don't like Blitzball. Well, I don't like Blitzball. It's fun on its own, like as a thing that exists as a sort of sports like RPG style minigame. It's fine, but as a component of this game, I don't like it. I'll explain why. So, do I really want to go through the... No, the tutorial takes 10... Like, this is one of the reasons why I don't like Blitzball. These tutorials, they take 10 billion years. Just like, they take million, hundred gillion... They're so long, and there's so many systems, and there's so much shit to memorize, and there's only one mandatory Blitzball game in the entire game ever. It's the only time you have to do it, which is now. Other than that, you can play as much Blitzball as you like, and there's some rewards in there, but other than that, you don't have to bother with it, even a little bit. So I won't.
There you are. Someone said they saw Sir Orin in a cafe.
Orin?
Yes, Sir Orin. Let's go find him.
Hey! Hey! The game starts like real soon. You come back quick, yeah?
Hey, I'll be back.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Waka. You're stiff, man. No, not your face. Just breathe out. Relax.
Okay.
Like this. Just breathe. Yeah.
Maybe now we can find Sir Jecht.
Huh? How?
Sir Orin was also my father's guardian. So, he might know where Sir Jecht is. Let's go now.
It didn't even occur to me to think that the Orin Yuna was talking about and the one that I knew from Xanarkand could be 2 different people. I don't know why, but I knew it was the same guy. I knew it was the same Orin.
Imito Sumana.
Vasikna Bund.
Hey! Albed Sykes, right? Some Albed saved me the other day, and this girl Riku gave me food, and... you don't understand me, do you? Anyway, if you meet Riku, tell her thanks for me.
Yeah, just say it slower and louder, Titus.
And
That'll
as
work.
for the first game, may the best team win.
So we're set loose in Luca. And the first thing we're gonna do is run back to the docks.
Because there's treasure chests there.
No. Yes, 2. Magic sphere, thank you. HP sphere, thank you again. Luca, too hot for Ronso. Here's some more Guado, by the way. Lord Seymour will lead the Guado to eternal repose. Seems like they've scaled back on security this year. I hope nothing bad happens. I'm terribly sorry, but no one's allowed aboard the ship. More treasure chests.
Ice and snow from the holy peaks of Gagaset have strengthened Ronso's spirit. The Ronso Fangs will win the cup. Any Ronso know that.
We come all the way from Gagaset. Ronso will surely win.
The stores in the stadium are closed on a tournament, but up.
Let's see. Right, okay, I'm gonna need to sell a thing or two, because there's a weapon I want from him. I want the Stunning Steel. So he's got a couple of good weapons just overall, some things that are nice like the Rule Breaker, but I want the Stunning Steel because it comes with an ability called Slow Touch, which is very nice to have. It means it causes slow when you attack enemies every once in a while, which is just a very nice thing to have, and it's way better than the plus 5% strength that I get from the Brotherhood right now. And that's full circle. Excellent. Let's move on. Hey, there's that blue guy again in the background.
I'm sorry. Please let me through. Hey, let's go.
You're really famous.
I hope we don't get separated.
Yuna!
Huh? Hmm? What was that?
In Xanarkin, we do this to cheer on Blitz players. You try it too. Put your fingers in your mouth like this.
Like this?
Not like that. This. Then you just blow.
It's not working.
Practice.
Okay.
Hey, use that if we get separated. Then I'll come running, okay? Well, guess we should just stick together then, till you can do it.
Yes, sir.
So there's an interesting little look at the aesthetics of Luca here. It's one of the first like big towns we've been to, and it looks modern, doesn't it? Like we've got like I guess trash cans. We've got these completely normal ass looking city benches, and we've got like shrubberies hanging around, and we've got a lady with a TV camera and a microphone moving around, which is interesting because so much of the rest of the game has been this sort of very low-tech fantasy thing, right? Like, it doesn't feel like they have modern technology here, but yet here we have, well, as we also saw in the intro to Luca, where we have these TV commentators and these, like, plasma screens hanging out in a bar or something, with like, dudes called Jimmy and Baba, Jimma and Baba commentating over sports games and stuff like that. So there's this odd mix, isn't there, of sort of medieval low-tech swords and sorcery magic stuff, but then just these occasional appearances of what is really very modern technology, all things told. And keep that in mind. And reporting to you live from outside Lucas Stadium, the excitement here has reached a feverish pitch as the opening ceremony gets underway. Hey, I'm in the middle of a broadcast. Leave me alone.
Well, if it isn't the Aurochs comedian. Thanks for that comic relief. Keep up the antics through the tournament. I'll be sure to capture you on the sphere. I really don't care which team wins or loses. I just want to watch the game and go crazy.
Right, the Sphere Theater. I suppose I should show this off because it's another one of those little odd anachronisms that seems like it kind of shouldn't make sense. This is a cinema, basically. So, you can pick up spheres as you go through the game, music and movie spheres, that will allow you to come here and basically play back cutscenes, like CGI cutscenes and stuff from previously in the game, or play music tracks if you want to listen to them. Anyway, not going to bother too much with that, but that again was one of those things that was a very cool feature back on the PS2, to have like, oh, like a gallery where you can see the cutscenes. Wow, that's a big cool thing. So, you know, that's where that came from, was sort of from this expectation that, oh, we have all this extra storage space with a DVD. What shall we do with it? Well, let's give people a way to play back the cutscenes.
This is a pretty big town.
Lucca is the second largest city in Spira.
I thought every town was little, you know, like Besaid and Kilika.
Towns don't usually get bigger than that. Because when a lot of people start to gather...
Sin? What about Lucca? It's safe here?
It's not any different, but the stadium is here. The Crusaders fight to protect it with all their strength.
They protect the stadium?
Blitzball is really the only entertainment that we have. Spira's a little short on fun these days.
Whoa. Talk about pressure.
That's right. Is Xanarkand like this too?
Well, there are more buildings, all tall ones, and cramped together.
Oh. They must be so tall. Don't you ever get dizzy? Let's go find Sir Orin.
Let's see.
Orin's not here.
Why not talk, Kimari? Not see Yenke for 10 years. Say something. Kimari forget Yenke? Forget Biran?
Leave Kimari, Yenke. Kimari is small, Ranso. Kimari so small, can't see Yenke and Biran's faces.
Kimari forget Ronso friends? We taught you much at time of Hornmold. Biran taught Kimari to be strong, Ronso.
Maybe taught too much.
Take him on.
Owned.
Oh! Take it outside. The tournament's starting, you hear?
The game.
Today, on this glorious day, players from all over Spira have assembled here to participate in this great contest of bravery, skill, and strength. All of these fine teams, equally renowned, deserve to win the cup today. Such is the nature of this contest. Let us, the spectators, play our role accordingly. Let us sing to the glory of the winners and applaud equally the valor of the defeated. Contestants, may heaven be with you.
Again, very high-tech machinery, isn't it? Not quite as fancy as the exploding orb in Samarkand, but still. And again, that's special attention paid to, like, rendering water with incredible fidelity for the time.
Kamari, Yuna's gone.
Oof.
Where in Spira have you been?
Huh?
Yuna's been kidnapped by the Al-Bed Sykes. In exchange for her safe return, they want the Aurochs to lose.
What?
If they're only Blitzball players, I doubt they'd do anything drastic. But we shouldn't take chances. Let's go get her.
I'm going too. This'll be no problem. They're telling the Aurochs to throw the game, as if they needed to. I mean, how good a team can they be?
Waka said the same thing. He'll take care of the game. We should go get Yuna. The Al-Bed boat is in Dock 4. Let's go.
Drama. Let's see. Everything's fine over here, so let's just run and go get the Al-Bed.
Everyone went to go see the opening ceremony. Hey, ain't you a blitzer? What are you doing walking around?
Good question, my friend. Resolving a hostage crisis, apparently. And we have to go this way around, because the other way is blocked with stuff. And then my game crashed. Okay. Okay, there we go. Thank God for autosave. Anyway, dock number 4 it is. And again, you can see the ambition to have seamless combat transitions, but...
Ancient Machina salvaged by the Al-Bed. They are mostly vulnerable to lightning.
And again, with the way that the party kind of changes positions around the enemy there, again, it's one of those remnants of the ambition to do, like, a true seamless battle system that just didn't quite come to fruition ultimately. So the good thing about these robots is that they drop high potions, and very occasionally they'll also drop elixirs, or X potions rather, if you're lucky. So this is another one of those spots that can be used as a grind spot to get a hold of some, like, useful healing items early on, rather than potions, which just become pretty much useless right away in the game, except for healing out of combat. There's an X potion. Lovely.
The Aurochs are keeping the score tied with some excellent defense, folks.
but the referee doesn't call the foul. Waka's taking a real beating out there.
Huh. Still in there.
He won't last. Waka's always like that.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Let's go. Let's go.
They don't have a jumping animation for Lulu. So that is a pretty cool robot design. Yeah. Well, first you'll haste yourself, though. Lancet doesn't do nothing. Then you'll haste... Well, maybe we can... Yeah, we'll do it like that.
Come on, move!
It's probably out of power.
That, by the way, is a clue. Anyway, this is a Blitzball training machine. Out of power, you say? Electric motor, you say? The crane seems to respond. This is another one of those puzzle battles. Well, yeah, I mean, you can beat the guy, as it were, air quotes, fairly, if you want to. But it's very much a battle that's designed for you to... Not yet.
Come on!
It's probably...
Yeah, I know, Lulu. One more hit, then. But the battle is designed for you to figure out this little puzzle. Boom. And that gets rid of its ability to do the Blitzball rush attack. And also does 4,000 damage to it. Which makes it tremendously easy to finish it off. Whereas if you fight the battle, as it were, fairly, without doing the little puzzle there, then this can actually be kind of a tough boss fight.
I hope you hurt them.
A little. What is it?
There were these Al Bhed that saved my life when I first came to Spira. They took me on their ship. They even gave me food.
Also threatened you with weapons and punched you.
I was hoping that this was the same ship. But it's not. I wonder if they're all gone.
What happened?
Sin came up near us. I made it out okay, but I don't know what happened to their ship.
Was there anyone called Sid on that ship?
I don't know. They were all speaking that Al Bhed language.
I see.
So who's Sid?
He's my uncle, but I've never actually met him.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so that means you're Albed too, Yuna?
On my mother's side, yes. Sid is my mother's brother. He became distant after my mother married. But she told me to seek him out if I ever needed help.
You're worried he was...
Don't tell Waka about Yuna's lineage. The thing about Waka, he never had much love for the Albed.
It means he's racist against them.
I gotta tell Waka.
I thought I told you not to tell Waka.
The game!
Oh!
Seconds left. The Aurochs are launching an all-out offensive. A long pass from Letty. It goes through. Oh. Oh.
Owned.
He shoots. Unbelievable! The Aurochs win the match 3-2.
We won!
We did it! We're in the finals!
Not the most graceful win. If it was Chapu, he'd still be standing.
Hey, aren't you being just a little unfair?
Excuse me?
I know I could never take Chapu's place. You're the one who told Waka that, right, Lulu? And I don't think Waka would ever try to take Chapu's...
You don't want to finish that sentence.
But yeah, again, that thing I'm talking about was like, whatever is going on there is an emotionally complex situation. Which is like, it's a kind of triangle drama, which again, I feel like Waka, his brother, and Lulu, that particular triangle drama is a more mature flavor of romantic drama than you'd usually get in a lot of JRPGs.
Sure you all right, Cap? The game starts in a few minutes. You sure you okay?
We're playing the Gores, too.
Miss me?
Lady Yuna, are you okay?
All this because of me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
How can you let some Albed kidnap you?
Hey, let it go, all right?
Don't go near Albed anymore, okay? They're trouble.
Okay, now we have to play Blitzball. In a second, anyway. Fine. We're gonna save first. Because I've said I don't like... I enjoy playing Blitzball, I actually do. Like, I used to have a save that was just where I had basically completed the game, and I would just load that one up and I'd just play Blitzball on that one instead of trying to do it over the course of a normal game, because I did enjoy spending a lot of time in the grinding in it. Plus, there was this reward at the end of it that I wanted to get at least once. But it's so clunky. The way that it feels like such a huge interrupt. We'll talk about it later.
The game starts soon. No time for warm-ups. Ready?
Let me at him.
All right. I got something to tell you boys. After this game, I'm retiring. I promised myself this would be my last tournament. Win or lose, I'm quitting Blitzball. But you know, since we're here, we might as well win. Yeah!
Mind a bench.
I'm warming a bench. He's taking my place. All right, boys, let's win this one. Let's make the goers goners.
Let's blitz.
By the way, Goers is a stupid team name. It's dumb.
I saw you floating there on the sphere.
Oh, hey, you weren't supposed to see that. Oh.
You really gave it your all, didn't you?
All right, boys, what are we gonna do?
Win!
For Captain Walker.
All right. Let's see if I can still remember how to win this.
This is it, folks. In just a few minutes, the championship game.
My best memories are here. Walker, captain of the Aurochs.
But who could have imagined a championship game between these two teams? Our legendary Luca Goers going against the horrendously ill-fated Besaid Aurochs.
This looks like history in the making, Baba.
Anime Jeff Goldblum. Oren has such a good character design. Again, in JRPGs especially, it's rare to see, like, men who look like they're over the age of 30. I do like the Goers as antagonists for the Blitzball thing, though. Like, they have that perfect, like, arrogant, snobby 80s team that's up against, like, the group of underdogs for the, like, to win enough money that they can keep their Blitzball club at high school or whatever. Like, they do have that perfect, like, super arrogant bastard vibe. Like, just complete shitheads that you just hate on sight. And that comes down to partly to their character design, like, because they just have this arrogant smirk baked into their face textures. But it's also, like, it's also their delivery. They're just good villains for this little thing. So,
The Goers are taunting the Aurochs.
the first thing we need to do is we need to get our hands on the ball. Like, that's number one priority, and if, depending on how things shake out, there's gonna be a launch of the ball right at the start. If I get my hands on the ball, I have a chance. If they get their hands on the ball, they're almost certainly going to score. Yeah, let's see. Because there's very little, like, right now, I'm not doing anything. None of what's happening right now is under my control even a little bit. Okay. He's gonna try and shoot. Yeah, okay. Thankfully, the AI fucked up. So, this is entirely a stats-based game. Okay, Dato, thank you for... Oh, Bada, rather. Thank you for... Just fucking... Stop. Manual. Okay, first, I need to get my characters back to manual control. That's important. And then... Well, then I'm in trouble. God damn it. Bada has no... Okay, so this is entirely a stats-based game. Bada has 3 endurance, and Grav, the first guy who's going to attack him or try to tackle him, has 8 attack, which means Bada is going to get his ass completely handed to him if he tries to do anything. And if he tries to pass, his pass stat is going to be up against the block stat of the people who are blocking him, which is going to completely kick his ass. So, it's not a great start so far. Because the trouble with Blitzball, like, you want to have manual control over your players, which you can only have
Oh, please tell me. Okay, there's enough people on defense. We should be able to grab this, right? Letty gets it. Good. And then I sent my guy... Come on. Okay, he should be able to pass. Okay, do one break. Then pass. Yes. Okay, so it's all about managing your stats. It's basically, it is in a very real sense an RPG. Just need to get the ball to Bada. He's got it, good. And now, Bada, you need to pass the ball. I want to get it to Titus. So, right now, Titus doesn't have the eject shot. Even though, like, there was a whole thing, a whole sequence of him like, oh, but he's got the eject shot now, and he can do... But we don't have it. We haven't set the ability because we never got a chance to go into the menu and actually set the ability. So what we need right now is for Titus to gain enough experience to level up so that he can set an ability like, for example, the eject shot. Because right now, if we try and go for the goal and we try and shoot, we're fucked. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. So what I'm going to do for the remainder of this round, which lasts 5 minutes on the in-game clock, is I'm just going to sit here with Yasu and Titus, and they're going to pass the ball back and forth towards each other. Because every time they pass the ball and catch it, they gain experience points, which will allow them to level up for the second half of the game, which is what we want right now. Because I want Titus to have the eject shot, because the eject shot is just about the only thing that's gonna let me have a chance in hell at scoring a goal in this game. So they're just gonna sit here. And the really fucking annoying thing about this game is that the game starts you on automatic controls, where your players will just move around on their own. Which means the moment they get their hands on the ball, they will just swim for the enemy goal and get blocked and get completely fucking taken out without you being able to do anything about it. So you need to get into automatic mode, just as or out of automatic mode as fast as humanly possible, and then you need to get your hands on the ball and spend as much time as you can just passing it between two players, far away from where the enemy can intercept you. And grind up experience and not let the enemy score. Because your main chance at winning this comes from managing to get a 1-0 goal and then just running out the timer. Like, that's the easy way to do it if you absolutely want to win, and I do want to, because I hate those fucking guys. And I do have my pride as a Blitzball player. Like, I don't want to let these shitheads beat me. I don't want to lose. I want to win. So I'm going to give it a shot. Whatever it may take. Because, like, you can go for the goal if you want to. Titus can score. He has a high enough shot stat that he can get a goal in if you're really lucky about getting past the enemy players and stuff like that. But it's a long shot, quite literally a long shot. So I prefer to just go and cheese my way to the eject shot, get to halftime, have my players level up.
And it's halftime.
The goers are just playing great, Baba. Really great.
Okay, cool.
Zone defense, boys. Stop those goals.
What about me?
Get the ball and just shoot like crazy.
Goers are going down. Yeah.
Shoot like crazy.
Down.
All right, hustle.
And now, finally, I get to do a thing. Let's see. Titus, you need to replace the sphere shot right the hell now with the eject shot. Thank you very much. And nobody else has any techniques, unfortunately. The only way to learn techniques in this game is to see other players using them. And each player can only learn certain techniques. So it's a whole thing. That you need to grind your way through. And it's like, that's the thing is, you can't play Blitzball casually. Well, you can, but But there's like, it's such an involved game, and there's such an involved minigame of like scouting players and adding them to your team and going through tournaments and stuff. Like you can't just do it half-assed. If you're gonna do it, you have to do it fully, which is what makes it so fucking annoying, because Blitzball games take like 15 minutes to get through each of them. And so you have to interrupt the entire flow of the main story completely for all of that time just to play like a single game of Blitzball. And it's like, I don't like it the way that's... I like the card games better as minigames than Blitzball. Although Blitzball is way cooler, and I would love it a lot more as like a standalone game, which they've never released. Anyway. So this is how you learn techniques. You set marks. You tell one of your players, hey, that enemy player over there, he's got this ability, the Venom Tackle. I want you to follow him around and try to learn it. But we're not gonna bother with that. We don't need it. We just need to get our hands on the ball, get close to the goal, and try for a eject shot. That's pretty much all we need. Oh, Letty, I love you. And the way we're gonna get the ball to Titus is we're gonna go down here. Okay, we have Abbas on defense. That's fine. Break to Abbas. And then we dribble past him. Bye! Pretty much all we want to do is go around the outside, pass the ball to Titus, and try to get Titus close to the goal with less than 3 people defending against the eject shot. Okay. Now this really has to work. And the eject shot costs 120 HP. The longer your character has the ball, the more their HP is drained. So, like, you can't have Titus have the ball the whole time. This is how they enforce passing. This is so that you can't just have your star player have the ball all the time and try and shoot, like, 15 billion times. You have to actually pass the ball. And now, we're gonna get ourselves a goal. It's such an asshole move, because you just knock out 2 defenders and you get like a 5-point boost to your shot. And he has absolutely no fucking chance. Now, we want the we want the goers to not score, please. Absolutely not. Which they might if they get the ball, which they do. Okay, please stop them, 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 please. The Titus can't block him for shit. Because even Grav here, who's a defender, he's not actually an attacker. He's not actually the guy who has the high shot value. He has the high pass value, which might make it difficult. Yes! Yasu, I love you. You're a good man, and I adore you deeply and desperately from the bottom of my heart. You are a wonderful person. Okay, what's his pass score? It's 8. Is that an item? I really want to get it to, like... I want to get it away from the goers. So it has to go to Letty right now. And mostly what I want to do, because, like, if they chase you down and get in contact with you... Oh, motherfucker. Okay, I might be able to make a pass to Titus from here. Yes! If they chase you down and get into contact with you... Okay, Titus should be able to take an attack from him. Yeah. Then they force you to stop, and they force you to do, like, a defense situation. And that's the point when you usually run into, like, 3 of them at a time, which is a bitch and a half to deal with. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, all I want right now is just to run out the clock. That's literally the only thing I'm interested in doing. She has 9 attacks. So the attack and defense statuses are a little bit random. There's an element of randomness to them. She has 9 attack, I have 11 endurance. You would think that I would be able to just take the hit. But she can get a boost of as much as 3 points to her attack status when she attacks. And I have absolutely no way of knowing whether that's going to happen. But I have to break to her. And then I have to try and get a pass off. Yes! Okay. And I can also get random boosts to my stats, of course. Which is lovely. Okay, pass to Bada, and then get the pass down to the bottom side. Where the hell is Yasu? There.
The fans are getting impatient. They're calling for some action.
And then this happens, which can fuck you up even if you have the ball. Because you can't just run out the clock.
Everyone seems to be calling for Waka, folks. Say, where is that player going?
Glad we just stopped the game completely while that was happening.
Leaving the sphere pool. He may be injured.
So there's this break in the middle.
To be honest, I did kind of feel left out. But it really was the Oryx and Waka show after all.
I don't disagree with this as a story moment.
I wonder what's happening. The crowd is going wild. Ah, it's Waka. He's back on the field and ready to go. The Aurochs seem glad to have him back.
So now, unfortunately, the ball gets relaunched, and we need to get our hands on it again and keep trying to run out the clock. And again, the risk is, if the goers get their hands on it and a player gets close to the goal, it's entirely plausible that they just score. Okay, thank God. Letty, just get that ball to Bada and just... Nope. Nope, we're not playing. We're not playing a gut. This is, by the way, is a fantastic way to win at Blitzball all the time, forever. Is to get one goal by using the eject shot. Just like charge through, get a goal with eject shot, and then just park your players at the back end of the pool where the other team mostly won't chase you. Like, most of their players won't chase you up here. Just get them to the back of the pool like this, and just pass the ball back and forth with one goal over the enemy, and you can pretty much win any game. You only really need to do this early on when the only players you have are the Besaid Aurochs. Once you develop them, or once you have, like, just generally speaking, better players overall. Okay, let's see. Abyss, what's his attack? It's 3. Break to him. Once you have better players overall, you can actually play the game as in, like, as it's intended to be played, rather than do this cheese nonsense. But I'm gonna beat those fucking goers, assholes. Fucking shit. Yes, there we go. The ideal situation is to confuse their AI. Because if you put your players in certain positions, the enemy team just won't register them as being part of their range. So they'll just swim around in circles while you sit here and wait for the time to go. And the Besaid Aurochs win the cup. And you get a strength sphere for winning. That's the prize.
Unbelievable! The Aurochs win, folks! This is one for the record books!
And that's how you win the goddamn early Blitzball game. You don't need the eject shot necessarily. The sphere shot that Titas already has as a technique is also pretty good. Like, it'll let you get that goal, and then you can just run out the clock. But this is very much it doesn't matter if you win. Like, it just changes nothing about the story. But it's very much a game that's designed to be possible to win if you're very good at managing and manipulating the systems of Blitzball. but it's also a game that you're supposed, essentially, to lose a little bit. In the story, like, the game kind of assumes that you're gonna lose, and that's fun. Anyway... this is happening. Let's just haste yourself first. And then haste Waka. And then kick their ass. Let's do some cheering, because we'll need... this is a longer fight, so we can do a little bit of cheering. Which one is the one that's gonna attack? It's that one. He's not gonna attack. And he's not gonna attack. And here again, this is part of the puzzle of the game, is like to make sure to prioritize killing monsters that are gonna attack, to allow your party more turns so that you can at least do damage or finish them off or cast defensive spells without getting hit in the process. "27 power spheres." Well, I won't run out of those anymore. Like,
what's happening?
By pretty early in the game, you will have 99 of every sphere, and you'll never run out of them again. Oh shit, you done fucked up now, son. He unsleeved. So Auron's character design is very much based on the Ronin. Like, it's like a lot of those Ronin tropes, the wandering samurai with like the sake flask on his hip and like one arm inside the sleeve of his coat, which is very like taken from that particular tradition. And it works really well for him, too.
Auron!
Sir Auron!
So, you do know him?
Yeah, best guardian there ever was.
Let's just have you not hit me. Thank you. Unless you do that, of course. Nope, still doesn't hit me. Because then it can't do shit. Smack.
Hey, give me a break!
That was my rumble feature in the controller you just heard. Put the controller down on the table. Pretty cool monster, isn't it? Summon. Anyway, I think that makes a pretty natural cutting off point for this particular episode. So, if you've enjoyed hanging out in the world of Final Fantasy X with me, if you enjoyed watching me beating those goddamn goers by completely and utterly cheesing the game systems of Blitzball, and hit the like, comment, subscribe button down below, and a bell icon, and all the other buttons that you hit, and then YouTube tracks how many people hit them, and if enough people hit them, then they show my videos to other people as well, and if they don't hit them, then the videos just die a painful death, and it'll be your fault. So if you want to support YouTubers, clicking the buttons is a good way to do that. That's why we keep asking you to. Outside of that, if you want to support me more directly, then I have a Patreon, a merchandise store, and a tip jar. All three of them fancy. And you can use them as you please or not. That is entirely up to you. And memberships are available on this particular channel if you want. If you have $1 a month that you don't need, then I could use that $1 a month, and memberships will facilitate that transfer of funds, as it were. Outside of that, thank you very much for watching. If you are American or living anywhere with high infection numbers, please, for the love of God, wear a mask when you go outside. And please remember to wash your hands.